Welcome to the third episode of Series 89, everyone. This month we have returning guest Pete Petrusha to learn about the game he is designing called Ghost in the Shell, a forged-in-the-dark cyberpunk RPG set in the world of Ghost in the Shell. In today's episode, we finish our character creation. But before we get to that, we actually don't have any calls to action coming up after the show because we're releasing these episodes as a doubleheader this week. Quick notes, though, we do have Undying Bonds that is going to be streaming hopefully sometime soon. We will be straightening that out. We also have the Ghost in the Shell Kickstarter information that is sitting pretty nicely right now. And we also have the Patreon that is looking for your assistance to get us to our $160 a month goal. If you would like, please head on over there and check it out. With all of that out of the way, enjoy the show, everyone.
So we got those, and then we're moving on to natural traits and cyber enhancements. Amelia, did we read yours, right?
Mm-hmm.
Your
yeah.
Okay, that's right. On the case, it was just so short and to the point. That's why
Yeah, I think I didn't read the
other
other option either.
It's so fast.
Yeah, the other option I had was face, which is you can plug the convince action into the sway wire. People don't just listen to what you have to say; they believe it.
Yeah, you can begin to really convince them.
Yes.
So natural traits and cyber enhancements, this is where we're getting to, depending on your loadout of your Ghost in the Shell, it modifies it. So if you have 2 ghosts, you're going to get 1 unnatural enhancement. We know you both have 4, which on this chart means that you both get 2 enhancements. But you're both not going to get a cyber enhancement because you both have 2 shell. Is that correct?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. Now, the Logicoma is going to get 1 and 1 because they went 3-3.
That makes sense.
1 natural. Now, again, just reaffirming that point, right? If you spend stuff in cyber enhancements and you lose the shell, it goes with, right? But the natural stuff is still, no matter where we stick that brain of yours, or wherever that head or that soul of yours is, these usually abilities do kind of linger in that realm. The quick start only has these 3 natural traits listed in there. So I'm going to dig up some more and give you some more options.
Okay.
Oh, excellent.
Because that's more fun.
Love it.
So you're gonna pick one of these, or I'm sorry, was it 2 of them?
Yeah, we get 2 each.
They get 2
Two
each.
of them, I think.
You get 1 cybernetic and 1 natural, yeah.
So while you're doing it, I'm gonna be grabbing one of these and grabbing one of them cybernetics. So
Right.
now let's see what cybernetic choices do I have as I take the audience on a tour of the cyber enhancements.
Yeah.
I could take enhanced strength plus shell when strength matters. This isn't great for a Logicoma, but I could take face sculptor plus sway. People accept you as who you impersonate until they don't.
Oh, that's wild.
Yeah,
That's kind of cool.
Obviously, there had
Especially
to
for a Logicoma.
Yeah, you're right. Especially right. A full cyborg body increases your shell permanently. There is the movement modification, which is cool for everyone but the Logicoma because the Logicoma already kind of has spider legs. But you could optimize your body to increase mobility for a specific function like spider legs, tank tread, flexible torso to walk on all 4s. The supplemental cyberbrain is great for most because then you can perform 2 actions simultaneously, when possible. Like it's meant to be like you can drive and like search the web, not like shoot 2 people, but 2 different targets simultaneously. But the Logicoma gets that as a gimme. So I think, to me, obvious, Well, there's the forensic scanner too, but I got to take thermoptic camouflage. So they could do this in the series. So it's even more fitting. Become translucent and nearly invisible to sight, plus effect when sneaking or hiding. See, in this way, which makes no sense in a lot of fiction, but like it happens actually in Arise, is that the Logicoma could follow the wizard class hacker who's sneaking in, even though I'm like the size of a small car, because we're both invisible.
Amazing.
Okay. Did either of you pick one of the naturals yet?
I do have a
something
question.
You might want to talk about. Oh yeah, sure. Hit me with questions.
Yeah. So I'm looking at some of these, and like the two that caught my eye is plus ghost permanently, right? So,
yeah.
The big question I had was the mostly human one.
The trade-off
signature action, right?
Oh, great. Yeah.
And you cannot slot cyber enhancements,
which you can't right now anyway.
Exactly. So,
but
okay,
you would be stopping yourself in the future.
Right. And I'm not 100% sure if I want to go that route, but like, what are the signature actions all about?
So I think it's the next thing we're doing is the signatures. So one of the things like we were talking about is that you are like creme de la creme. You are peak. You are the legends. If you're not legendary, you are in the process of becoming legend, right? You are the best of the best. And if not, it's, it is like those scions of humanity or some weird technological monstrosity of some sort, right? So with that in mind, one of the ways that we can also reinforce that is there are two things you're going to have as a signature. One's an action and one's like a piece of gear. And it's just kind of like if you could think of like, Saito's the sniper and they are the legendary sniper because this and because that. Right?
Okay.
So one of your actions, you will make a signature action. And what that means in game terms is in Forged in the Dark games, when you roll a 6, the highest, you roll a number of D6s. And the highest number you get on any of those dice is all that matters. And the highest number, if it's a 6, you're pretty much going to succeed without a hitch. Whatever you envisioned or intended to do is going to happen. The GM may be like, hey, tell me what happens, right? Because it's going to go that well. Like, you need a critical to embellish, but if you get a 4 to a 5, you're going to succeed, but there's also going to be some level of consequence. Something's going to come. Maybe later on, it's not going to make your success worse, but there's something else. There's 4 different categories of ways that we complicate things. So the GM will put that little the consequence in a complication in one of those consequences. And sometimes it's clocks, right? We're building towards like, oh, if we have 4 consequences, the guards notice you're all here and they're going to come around the corner, right? So, so the signature action, you succeed like 6 on 5. So 5 and 6, 1 out of 3, results on the die can give you the best result. More frequently will you have results, and usually people's signature actions, they roll more dice, at least 2, 3, or 4, usually not like 1. Usually, I mean, you can totally do that. But the idea is that so you're more likely to generally succeed without any consequence.
Okay.
Which is sometimes a knock on Forged in the Dark, is that like it has that Han Solo thing, but almost to a fault.
Yeah.
Right.
You succeed half the time, but gosh, it just seems like there's always a consequence. There's just always something happening. There's always, and some players equate that to, I'm not quite succeeding, am I? If there's anything attached to it. And it's funny because the design of it says, no, you succeed half the time. But the player experience is what matters. And a lot of players are like, I don't know.
Yeah.
It's like you're trying to sell me something here. Like that's not really a success if something bad happens too. So with the signature actions and your primary wheelhouse, you're much more likely to also do like the really hard stuff.
Okay.
I've picked mine while Ryan is carefully reading through all of the rules, and I'm over here like, that has good vibes.
Tell us these things. Yeah, I should mention favors. Yeah, as I'm looking at them, I forgot. These touch on a lot of the other stuff that we're going to get to.
Yeah, yeah. Like Ryan always like reads very carefully through the text and is like, well, if this says I can pick one of these 3 things, I'm going to go over here and see which of these 3 things that I can pick to see if it's worth it. And I'm just like, that one sounds cool, and I like the name of it. A little something for everybody, right?
Yeah.
So I did pick a hunch. When a mission clue is selected for a favor, ask a follow-up question the GM must answer. I don't know what a mission clue is. I don't know what a favor is, but it sounded cool. So, and it sounded like a thing as an investigator. I would want.
Yeah, it's really cool. So, this goes back to the game design of it. It's something like there's some of these really cool insights of game design that I could mention earlier. They just don't mean, like you kind of need enough of the
without the
concept to talk
context,
about.
it doesn't mean anything.
Yeah. So like I said, you're going to get missions, and the missions are always going to be like you're going to be in the middle of something, and then something is going to blindside the group, and that's going to lead to the real adventure. But that means that every time we start a new adventure in this game, it starts with literally like, "Hey, I'm in position. Hey, I don't have all our names yet, but like Logicoma, give me your sit rep or where you at," and players introducing their characters by actually telling us where they are on the scene. Yeah. With an objective, right? And then that kind of gets us, just like we see in a lot of these episodes or stories, that like it's already like going on, like the action's starting. And then we jump into that, and that kind of helps with the slow brood thing too. I mentioned is that then something's going to happen, and I'll talk more about the mission objective and how we give player agency to this. But the mission clue is what I don't want in Ghost in the Shell is the players to feel like, man, I just wish we knew what to do.
Yeah.
I just wish we knew where to go, because Ghost in the Shell is still more action oriented and is not about like that slow brood of we got to investigate. Let's talk to everybody. It should be a way to talk to the person we need to talk to, right? Like, so we wouldn't waste all that film and that time on screen. So mission clues are a way that's baked in, is that when the players just kind of want to fast forward or to get the thing they need to move the story forward, they just ask for it. And you have a an info warfare specialist who I said was a character that's not yours, that's in the game. This is when they come in.
Got it.
Literally, you call in a mission clue and they tell you, like, this just in, or Aramaki just said, told me to tell you this, or we found this witness. And that's the whole point, is so that players literally have a fast forward button so they can play at the speed that they want to have the adventure told to them. So mission clues are awesome for that reason, because literally you just spend a favor.
Got it.
So
this allows me to ask an additional follow-up question.
Yeah. So you
instances. So I get 2 questions. More information. That's what I want.
So they're going to say, hey, a suspect was just picked up by public security on such and such, but a gunfight is broken out. And then you're going to say, okay, is that person is the gunfight person this person, or, whatever it is. And it could be too much to ask, but your character's just going to get it right. Right. I'm going to ask the follow-up, and maybe it'll say eventually, you will get the right answer. This says the GM must answer.
Right.
But the idea is that they're not going to deceive you. Yes. And if you have a hunch and you're right, it's going to lead it. And also, as we know, as game masters in more collaborative games, they may give you what it is because you used the thing and you said it. Right. Because it's just kind of the style of play.
Because it's not an adversarial relationship.
Yeah. It's like restoring. Hey, that would be cool, wouldn't it? I'm not gonna perk up in my face. I'm just like, that's exactly what I was gonna do.
The other one I picked was family. You fight for more than yourself. Regenerate 1 ghost. You get 2 uses per mission. I was just like, that seems like, I don't know. I like story things too.
Oh, for sure.
What can I do to make this messier? And I was like, have people I care about. That seems like it would make things messier.
Yeah, in Togusa, one of the 2 inspirations for this class was that's what they're known for, is that they're mostly human and that they have a family. And to the other people in the group, they're like, that guy's crazy. Yeah. How and things will be the matter of life and death, and they're talking about how their kid got in trouble at school.
Yeah.
Or they're like, I'm going home. And you're like, why? This is we have to get to the bottom of this. Yeah, because my wife, she's got this thing at 7 p.m. and I got to watch the kids.
I got to go to parent-teacher conferences.
Yeah. So, and that is such an essential character to have. You almost want to be every Ghost in the Shell needs one of these, right? Because they are part of the yin and yang of the whole story being told, so.
There's people behind those cybernetics.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, it adds additional stakes to any decisions that you make, which is why I like that kind of stuff. But
Well, and it's cool because you fight for more than yourself. It also probably means that like you're gonna make a phone call, because between each of the major scenes, there's kind of like downtime or opportunities for downtime. We don't do it so much like at the end of a session, like between. You can do that too, but like downtime a lot of times in this is going to be like kind of between the major scenes. Because as you can imagine, there's a lot of times like scene A to scene B is really like the next day or 6 hours later or when we get a call.
Right.
So there's usually time after the things happen.
Yeah.
So with that in mind, right, like you're going to call your family or go visit them or whatever, and then be like, cool, I regenerate one ghost. And it's a way for you to kind of heal that part where the one thing about cybernetics is like, okay, I'm going to go back to the public security and like they're going to go repair me if I have 4 hours, so.
Yep. Absolutely.
As long as I'm on the payroll, that's a big part too, right? Because if you're not, they're like, it's not my problem. That costs money.
All right. I got my traits.
Okay.
I chose Whispers to give me +1 ghost, which I assume moves me from 4 to 5.
It does. Yeah.
Permanently. Which sounds like it would be useful since I will be rolling with Ghost a lot, right?
Yeah. You don't actually roll Ghost, but yeah, you'll see. Well, I guess I should explain. So like when you go to attack in the realm of like hacking, usually your Ghost is going to be compared to the Ghost of your target. If it's greater than it, you are going to get a number of re-rolls to improve your roll to do more damage.
Oh, so
and that's kind of one of the ways we have a damage system. So when you have superiority with whether it's your shell, like in physical combat, or I have this cannon against your shell, just like a human body, or in this case, like my ghost, my spirit, my essence, me is my, that part is so strong that, in this case, your will is overpowering their will, right? Is kind of what's happening. So,
okay. So that one sounded good. And then I also chose Aptitude, which lets me choose a special ability from another playbook as well. And I chose Battle Map from the Sniper.
Oh, cool.
Sounds like it would be really fitting for this character. Yeah. And what that does is it lets me, once permission, say, that's not how I remember it. When the GM ambushes you or your team, right?
Yeah.
And then I'm able to do a flashback to say how we prepared for this exact situation. And then I get an extra die to roll, with that knowledge and whatnot.
There's some of them. There's some of those abilities that pop up, and you're like, "Is this too powerful?" And then you're like, you just love it though. Like, and in that case, like, it's so cool to have the players in a game like this at least one time because they're legends, right? Because they're legendary. Is the game master is like telling you, like, okay, this is what's happening, and you're like, that's not how I remember it. You just totally step on them for a second and go, this is how it went down, and this is why we killed it because we were ready for it or whatever. So it's also perfect because the bird's eye view, right? Like usually it's in the sniper, right? So they're the one who might be far enough away to do something like that. And for Amelia, like it's totally a throwback to some Rest in Pieces mechanics of literally a player saying something written on a card of being like, that's not how I remember it, and screwing over another player with the deadbeat roommates. So it's fun to see some of that crossover. I think that actual sentence is used on one of the cards. So
that's awesome.
Yeah. Great.
Okay.
The Logicoma I mentioned took the Thermoptics, and just because I think it was probably the name, but they took Donut Guy. So they gain one additional favor per mission because you always bring the donuts.
Yeah.
Love that.
That's so cute. Logicoma Donut Guy.
Yeah. And the idea is obviously with the favors is like these people, like the I'm mixing it up because there's two names. The info warfare specialist, and at one point it was cyber info or whatever. So, right, like they're a character. So like you're going to build chemistry with that character as you role play with them, but also people having perks like, oh yeah, well, the Logicom is not that bad. They always bring me the donuts. Like you are actually having some things baked in of why people like you or why they like you, Yeah. So you get more favors. So
that's cool.
Now, I should mention the quick start here has a variant that is a limited number of favors based on the info warfare specialist. It'll be interesting to see what wins the day, but originally it was that every player basically had a favor. And that was a way of like, they could either favor or like flashback. And there was these things they could do to call on that but it gave players a little more agency of the story. And it gave them if you sometimes put a token in front of somebody, they like want to spend it. Mm-hmm. And flashbacks are notoriously a thing in role-playing games that some players use awesomely, constantly, all the time. And some players never touch.
Right.
So encouraging a way that you're like, oh, well, I get one per session, I should use a flashback, right? Like having some token sometimes is a way to get, as a game designer, get a player to want to do a thing that they're not, not right. accustomed to doing. So, yeah. So there's a couple types of favors, but okay. The Logitoma took the donut guy and thermoptics, so we're moving right down to signatures, I believe. And so this one is very straightforward. You are just going to, we actually, in the instructions, have identity. If you'd like to, at this point, you may be ready to name your character or give them a handle or assign them pronouns. So feel free to do these things. But also, if you want to wait to the end, I usually do that too. So I don't mind. As that's, developing in the back of your mind, there are signatures. And as I mentioned, being a legend or a legendary character, there is a piece of gear in a specific action. That piece of gear could be a cybernetic, but not in your case. so it seems. I've had people have like a notebook, that they write their notes with, or having like a hat or something that's like a, of course, I think we've had the Zippo or the Lucky Coin kind of thing. Mm-hmm. Somebody had a cup of noodles. But like it's just the things that like if there was a picture of you, like the world around would be like, I mean, Saito can't get enough of that, like the the ramen bowls outside of so and so. Like, sure. But mechanically, obviously, you're kind of incentivized to pick stuff that would be helpful for you, like just. How is the notebook helping you investigate, right? Because you're probably going to use it like for interface. Maybe it would help you recollect things, So obviously the most straightforward ones are like the sniper having their sniper rifle, but and you just make these up. So when it comes to weapons, like that's something that's talked about in the quick start. Again, you're legendary characters. Like the loadout of what you can have, it's not like something that's really restricted. And the weapons, in the case of like a normal person who might have a 3 shell, they're not going to want to fight, Bato with a 5 shell or something like hand to hand. They're martial arts. They're going to want a gun, right? So they could have a smaller arm weapon that might be like a 4 shell for damage, like in comparison to the 5 or 5. Mm-hmm. But like a sniper rifle is like a 6. So there are some elements to like, it doesn't matter what weapon you choose here. You could choose any weapon if you wanted to, or any piece of equipment. Like you would have access to these things, a vehicle if you want to. They're just more about, again, personalizing your character and kind of if you know exactly what you want to be known for, I think we've had hackers like have specific programs before, or of course, like it could be like, if it is a certain kind of terminal they use, the only problem is that a lot of times you jack in personally. So you could probably say your cyber brain would probably be the most, like broadly. My brain.
I want to have a magnifying glass.
Sweet.
But I want to like, I mean, it is.
But cyber?
Technologically, like, so I want to be able to be like, enhance. And it will just keep zooming in. Until
yeah.
With like a little HUD on the glass itself,
exactly.
Little holographic. Yeah, that's cool. I want to go the fashion route with this character.
Sweet.
And like a stark white leather duster with pockets.
So many pockets.
So many pockets to hold all of the little like hacking doodads that I could possibly need.
Yeah.
Yeah. You have a charger for every kind of phone.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I got an adapter for that.
Yeah. Oh man.
Does it look like, I'm just imagining like a fishing vest like that has all of the little like but like in a white pleather like.
Like they're all interior pocket. Like it goes over the shoulder, right? And then it comes down, and then it has two tails, the two-tailed split tail
so is
down
it like a
to
vest
like
more
the
than
knees. It goes all the way to the knees in the back.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's like kind of flowing when the wind blows a little bit. It'll get a little bit of billowing to it.
That's important.
But like an iconic silhouette to the character as well.
Very nice.
Yeah, I was like, please don't make it a fishing vest.
Yeah.
No,
I'm trying to imagine. I'm like trying to figure out.
All the gun fu movies in my head were like, the flowing face-off style thing.
I just needed to know if the pockets are on the inside or the outside. That's what's important.
They are on the inside.
They're on the inside. Okay.
100%.
Got it.
Yep.
Yeah.
The aesthetics of no pockets on the outside and so many pockets on the inside.
Pockets on the inside. Got it.
Which, you got to mention like how awesome it is to be known for that. Because you also just gave the Game Master like a great counterbalance to it immediately. It's like, you're known for that. When a lot of times the group is going to be like wearing what's practical for the mission, but you're always going to be like, that's not your MO, right? So it also means like you don't take like the janitor clothes route of getting in. You're going to come in the side or be, using like you said, sneaking in, right?
Yeah, or you're wearing that over the janitor's uniform. Every time we go in, you're like, but I got to put the coat on.
But part of the legend.
Amazing. I love that so
much. And the action's totally separate. I mean, sometimes people piggyback. They don't, since, they both give you the same benefit. There's no benefit to piggybacking them. It doesn't make it like 4, 5, and 6 now. But, as long as you can pull on one, a lot of times that's kind of the idea of it. So
yeah. The action, I feel like, is harder to come up with.
Yeah, the only good part is that you only have so many. So you just look at the actions you have plugged in on your sheet, pick one. Yeah, and then along these lines, like you don't see it here, but there are some of these that are like prerequisites for other ones, especially with cyberware. There's some prerequisites. Like you got to have the prosthetic body before you can have like the souped up prosthetic body or the prosthetic body that has this. And so some things get kind of layered.
So what would your signature action be then, Pete?
So the signature action for me is I'm going to take precision because it's kind of an interesting one for me to get for the Logicoma. And that's partially because, like, for example, the Logicoma doesn't necessarily like track with eyes, like the natural sense of the physical. They track with technology. So precision also would apply to like if I use the machine guns that are equipped on a Logicoma, I roll interface precision instead of rolling just track, which would be less dice. So that's kind of how the actions work, is that you're going to be able to describe how many of these actions along one line, and that's going to how you build your dice pool.
That makes sense. So I have hack. Would it make sense to have hack as a signature action as the hacker, or
100%, yeah, or dominate, or something, yeah.
Yeah, or dominate, or even like convince to be able to social engineer my way into a space, 100%. So I can do my hacking, right?
It does become it's just the play style, right? Because exactly, you might be like, well, I got 1 die over here or 2 dice, and then it's like, but if I have signature, I'll be a lot more effective. More often than not, it'll have no catch, So, and you may be like, I already kick butt with the whole hacking and dominating things. I could, put a little over here. So that's one of the reasons why you also get 2, is that a lot of times then it frees up a lot of players then don't break, but I have to excel at this thing, So.
Yeah.
Yep.
And as Amelia could, attest to, obviously the story game heart of me is that there's trying to find ways to give more character to the characters, right? Ghost in the Shell is a very funny property in that way that unlike anything else I've ever worked on, where like the character focus is like the utmost importance, in a way, it's just like in a way, the bigger concepts of the time and the technology and the period are really the most important things. And you're like cogs that are very influential. But like, if you watch the shows, I mean, they all have they have personality like supporting cast comic book characters. Like they all have like their one thing, and it's because like Ghost in the Shell isn't really so concerned about like all of the things that are you. Because partially they're all soldiers and stuff. So they're all kind of like, a little more cookie cutter. And this is all weird to say because like they do, of course, but like compared to most role playing games where we let you like really individual, it's like a character that's got all the flair. You know what I mean? It's like what we're going for in the design of most of your characters in most role playing games. This one was actually like you take a step back because people are a little more of their role. And then they have these, we're going to talk about them in a minute, your memories, which are kind of like some of the stuff that's individual for you is important. But they're all kind of determined. They're all kind of practical. They're all kind of efficient. They're all kind of, because they have a lot of similar characteristics with like professionals. So, so in that way, it's interesting to not focus as much on that because the themes need you to be thinking about man versus machine identity.
Okay. I think I'm going to go with convince for my signature action. Because I like the thought of social engineering my way, and it's why I can have my iconic look in most places, because if I get into trouble or caught, I'm supposed to be there.
So the Logicoma, they're known for a few things in the series, like for example, agents getting inside them, like them being able to hold a person inside of them. And you'll see in the playbook abilities, they're kind of cool because there are things like, hey, this Logicoma can hold 3 people. It can drive up to 35 miles an hour now or something, So they also sometimes show like grappling hooks, and they're pretty good at like getting places because of the grappling hooks, almost like in a Rise, it's sometimes comically so, like they're like spider swinging in the air.
Yeah.
It's like a small car. So I'm going to take my signature gear as a grappling hook.
Oh, nice.
And they are these like grappling hooks that I shoot out of my body. So kind of like cables. Because I like the idea of being able to like lasso someone with like this cable or, I'm always climbing, or I descend into the scene as I like come down like a spider along the building,
I have a question about like what you use Dominate for.
Dominate is all that fun stuff of like puppet mastery. So if you don't have Dominate, you could hack into them that far, but you can't like pull the strings. So there's a level of permission that's coming from the actions, right? As each one is telling you like, you can do this.
Yeah.
So if you have interface, you don't hack, you can go find a lot of information about the interface, but you can't really hack a person. You could go get information, maybe dig, find a password, but you can't hack a person. But then, that's like the starting point of the hacker. But like you said, there's a couple, they both have, there's aptitude. There's like something on each side that's like, it is pretty cool if you make a character that's different class that kind of, but I can hack. So
I think I'm actually
like the Logicoma can hack too, I think. But
I think I'm going to choose command as my signature action. I think I'm just going to lean into that and just be good at that. Just really good at that.
And the idea is right that you actually command authority. Like you have there are reasons probably in game and beyond that people actually listen to you, like rank or position.
Yeah.
So
because I have the coolest magnifying glass.
That's right. And we have the most awesome white jacket.
Right.
Okay. Pretty much the last thing we're doing, there's 2 more things, is we're going to create a ghost memory. As you can imagine, one of the ways that's important for players to think about, this is funny because it's a weird sort of backwards way of coming about why you need this for the quick start. But because the quick start is not a lot of time necessarily for you to like develop your character or something. So the backwards way is like, if you're getting hacked or have the risk of being hacked, you need to have some reason why you don't want that to happen. Right? Like you need something to lose. You need stakes in the game. So you'll notice on your sheet that there's a little part there's a clock space on there too, because we check this over time, is that we want you to create a ghost memory, which is at this point literally just a memory that is something of maybe your military background or something from your childhood. It's just a little something that's you, because we all need to think about when the wizard class hacker is breaking us down from 4 ghosts to 3 ghosts to 2 ghosts. Will I forget my childhood? Will I not remember my children's names? Will I no longer know the street I lived on? Will this moment when I was the only survivor of my, family, will I just forget that ever happened? So then that can help people think of their identity and what they can lose. we got to make space for like updating your cyber brain. So
Yeah.
did you really need that childhood?
Yeah, it's probably not that important. I'm just going to keep mine really simple and just say, like, I have a childhood memory of playing with a sibling.
Great.
Whether that is the person that continues to be important to me later on. I don't know. We would find out if we play, but we don't play. So
that's for the First Play podcast.
Yep.
The sequel to the Character Creation podcast.
Right.
Yeah, back our Patreons, we can make $1 million more and have time to make another show.
That would be nice.
And the last part's like looks. And then we just have like this word pool of ways to like, watching all the Arise episodes 64 times, like things that people looked like. So, help people feel like they fit into this cyberpunk. But of course, it's up to you how you look.
Okay. My ghost memory, as a child, while climbing a tree, a great gray owl landed on the branch right next to me. And for a few moments, the silence of the winter forest with the majesty of the great gray owl, just a foot or so away from me, kind of was like a core memory for this character.
All right.
Awesome. For the Lagicoma, this has also been another great question, is like, people are often like, do I have a ghost memory?
Yeah. I mean, you have stats in Ghost,
as a player
so you
character,
must.
Yeah, for sure. So, and I'm like, we're not necessarily making a metaphysical statement here. It was just like, of course, they have to have one. So, I think the Lagicoma is probably going to have, we'll go straight into role-playing games, right? Is that they have a moment that they think about that is so immersive that they felt like this must be what it's like to be human, is that they were not their body. They were something different, and they don't quite know what that is. So they hold on to it desperately, and they try to make sure that anyone who tinkers with them or touches with them, they're always reminding them, yeah, but don't touch this one. And I'm imagining like a basketball bouncing. So this is going to take it to ridiculous levels of like them slam dunking a basketball. So
nice.
I love that.
So they're
that's very good.
You love it until you think about a spider tank doing it. You're like, that doesn't make any sense. Okay, slam dunk.
That's why it's a core memory, right?
And you know what? I think that means that if I could have a handle, it would be dunk.
Oh,
nice.
Yeah, Lagicoma dunk.
Lagicoma
is usually like red with like gray trim, and then I'm going to say that this Lagicoma is probably like, what'd be really fun is if they had like graffiti. So they have graffiti, and because of the whole dunk thing, they have like this thing going on for a while that like some people are starting to complain about, that it has too much personality. Like, it's got some graffiti. It keeps saying, don't erase this one memory. Like, and when it comes to like public security, there are some people are like, just wipe it. Like, it's becoming a nuisance. But so far, it's been able to manage, probably because of its association with Section 9 here, our legendary team. But that is a slippery slope.
Yeah. So
it's a little more like black and white with different colors that are kind of put on it in different ways.
I like that a lot. I'm picturing my investigators very much like somebody who just has always had one too many cups of coffee and definitely looks like it. Like, the shirt is always halfway tucked in, but it's like nice enough, but like you were in a hurry, like just moving a little bit too fast, just a little over caffeinated. We made an effort, but not the full effort.
Which is awesome because like most military kind of groups or like special ops teams, there's a lot of ribbing each other. A lot of like, so that's just another part of people always being like even your disguises would be disheveled, and that'd be funny.
Yeah, like much more focused on like the case and what we're doing than all of the like, like, I'll put my hair up, but there's always like, 4 or 5 strands that just didn't make it all the way into whatever.
But at the end of the day, you are incredible at what you do.
Yes.
Yeah.
I'm just too busy to focus on all of those other things.
So I went kind of more with the owl theme as well. Codenamed Phantom of the North. which is kind of what they call the Great Gray Owls.
So I'm only laughing because the team is going to be like, yeah, that's too long.
I know, right? I know, exactly. Also goes by Lila.
Nice.
She, her pronouns. She's got like that 90s anime big hair, if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like big, but like long as well. That goes down past her shoulders.
Yeah.
Brown hair, glasses, fingerless gloves, and nail polish to fit the mood.
Great. Yeah,
she's very much the 90s anime cool girl type of character.
Yeah, and it's interesting to think, especially so if these characters were our team, right? Like we have a special investigator, we have the Logicoma, and then we have the Wizard class hacker. So it's interesting because there would be a lot of times that it sounds like the Logicoma would be a bit of the muscle, if nothing else, for or the shield. Right? Or the distraction, could be at times, especially if we're trying to get the Wizard class hacker into places. But the special investigator, in a way, it's awesome because that also means that we would have so much more of a social angle to things. And it was, even with what you were talking about, I can imagine, you were like, hey, I'm pretty good with sway too. You two are probably going to work your way into situations socially or through proper channels. And then once inside, be able to find more by finding the right people or getting access to right places.
Yeah.
So it's neat to see the different kinds of play that would happen. And the Logicom is kind of rounded out from how I picked it. So again, I could see how they would often meet, if there's gunfire or cars chasing, they're going to be the one who puts themselves between the two of you. But they can't really stop it, but they'll be able to hold it at bay or buy you time,
Oh, it's very good.
And that's Ghost in the Shell character creation.
Oh, that's so good.
Amazing.
Did we get a name for Amelia's character?
Did we?
No, people can wait till the next episode while I Google how to.
Nice.
We'll have to wait.
We got to land at a cliffhanger. Yes.
Suspense.
And if you want to know my real name.
Dun, dun, dun. Pete, thank you so much for sitting down to do this with us, for all of this awesome discussion and making characters with us. This was so much fun. I'm really excited for people to interact with this game.
Absolutely.
Yeah, thank you for the opportunity. That's just, and I'm a returning guest, so I was excited to come back. I saw Ryan and I was like, Ryan, I got this thing. I don't know. It's not a lot of time.
Yeah, that was so funny because we were like, we don't have anything. Please come. You reached out at the perfect time.
It's just luck, right?
Yeah.
Just the right time, right place. Because I was just telling, there's one other podcast. I had 2 podcasts in mind, and I was like, I hope these 2 can make it happen.
Yeah.
So.
Yep.
Always happy to help. Do you want to remind people where they can find your work, your project, this project, all that?
So obviously this is launching on November 4th. So manaprojectstudio.com is the publisher, Mana Project Studios. My company is Imagining Games. So if you want to find more about me, you can check socials and stuff or go to the website, imagininggames.com. And between those 2 sites and obviously check out the Kickstarter, that's where we want you to be.
Absolutely. Well, this has been delightful. Thank you, Pete, for joining us. And thank you, everybody, for listening. Please join us on the next episode for our discussion block. Character Creation Cast is a production of the One Shot Podcast Network and can be found online at www.charactercreationcast.com. Head to the website to get more information on our hosts, this show, and even our press kit. Character Creation Cast can also be found on Twitter and Blue Sky at CreationCast, or on our Discord server at discord.charactercreationcast.com. I'm one of your hosts, Ryan Bolter, and I can be found on Twitter and Blue Sky at Lord Neptune or online at lordneptune.com. Our other host, Amelia Antrim, can be found on Twitter and Blue Sky at Ginger Reckoning. Music for this episode is used with a Creative Commons license or with permission from the podcast they originated from. Further information can be found within the show notes. Our main theme music is Hero Remix by Steve Combs and is used with a Creative Commons license. This podcast is owned by us under Creative Commons. This episode was edited by Ryan Bolter. Further information for the game systems used and today's guests can also be found in the show notes. If you'd like to support our show, find us on Patreon. Get access to bonus episodes, exclusive merch, and much more at patreon.com/charactercreationcast. Thanks for joining us. And remember, we find that the best part of any role-playing game is character creation. So go out there and create some amazing people. We'll see you next time.